My name is Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I was born January 30, 1882 in Hyde Park, New York, as the only child to James Roosevelt and Sarah Delano. I was born to a rich family and I spent my childhood traveling back and forth to Europe with my parents until I was a teenager. My father taught me how to fish and sail and made me love water throughout my life. In 1896, I left home to study at Wharton, a private boys' school. I became closer to my cousin Teddy Roosevelt, who won fame as a soldier in 1898. He believed that the government should help shape the economy and improve people's lives. I supported his belief too. Being close to him shaped my political ideas. In 1902, I grew closer to another distant cousin, Eleanor Roosevelt, who also believed in helping the poor. She took me to New York to see the dreadful poverty in the American cities. Later in 1905, I got married to Eleanor Roosevelt and had 6 children in the next 11 years. One daughter and 5 sons. One son died when he was a child. We didn't have a perfect marriage, but we worked out our problems as a couple and stayed together. After I graduated from Harvard College, I studied law in Columbia University School of Law, New York, but didn't graduate. From there, I became a lawyer. My uncle Teddy wanted me to try my luck in politics, and in 1910, I ran for the Senate seat and was elected the Senate of New York State. I just wanted New York City to have a better government. The powerful people called the bosses controlled politics and decided who worked at the government and how to spend government money. They didn't like me being there because I was turning things against their wishes. I worked for 2 years as a Senate helping the less fortunate in the society. In 1913, my life took another turn and I was named the Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Navy. The U.S. fleet was smaller than the German, and I believed we needed the army to be more ready and modern. We entered the war in 1917, and I had a chance to visit the battlefields, and I hated what I saw. And since then, I hated wars generally. After the war ended in 1920, I quit my job at the Navy, and that summer, the Democratic Party chose me as a presidential running mate for James Cox. We went around every state giving speeches. Sometimes I could give 7 speeches in a day, which made me tired. Unfortunately, we lost to the Republicans. It was a relief to me to take a break. I went back immediately to New York and opened my own law firm. In August 1921, when I was on a vacation in Campo Bello, Canada, my legs started feeling strange and it became hard to move. 2 weeks later, the doctor told me I had a mild case of polio and I was able to walk and I will be able to walk again. I believed I would too, but that didn't happen. I walked with crutches and used a wheelchair to move around. After a while, I started exercising to make my upper body strong and relax my legs. I learned how to drive with handles instead of pedals. I started helping people with polio by building a polio treatment center. In 1928, I turned back to politics again and was elected the governor of New York. I made a few changes to the government and not long after that, I was elected the president in 1932, and I was sworn in 1933. I started by helping the average American people by implementing the New Deal as promised in the campaign. I was re-elected again in 1937 and in 1941. I believe I was to help the normal American, not the rich who wanted to succeed themselves. I died in office on April 12, 1945.